everyone. How are you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to our podcast about the power of networking, which is so important. And thank you for tuning into our podcast, The Career Growth Mindset. So basically, this is a podcast which is basically about giving you guys educational content to help you guys excel in your career, because I know it can be really like navigating the career journey can be tough. And also a podcast to help you grow as a person in other areas as well. So today we are here with Mojahed Qashoa. Can you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, Assalamualaikum, Fatima, and hello
Walaikum
everyone.
salam.
My name is Mojahed Qashoa. I have about 25 years of business and management leadership experience in
Nice.
different industries, different part of the world,
Wow.
and different sizes of organizations. I did my education at Concordia University in Montreal. I did a BCom there, and at York University in Toronto. I did the master's degree in economics. And I found myself 2017 actually into more leaning towards business and management consulting. So I established my own company, Talent and Expert.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, thank you for sharing. So yeah, can you please tell us like why networking is so important? I feel like a lot of people, especially when they're starting off young, they get so focused on like having the good grades or even like having a lot of experience, which definitely is a part of it too. But like why is networking so important?
Oh, networking is massively important in the development of anyone's career.
Yes.
And before I talk about the power of networking, please allow me to explain the different kinds of networking. Because a lot of people, that included myself many years ago, do not know that there are actually different kinds of networking, and you need to embrace almost all of them. So there's the direct networking, and there's also the indirect networking. The direct networking is very easy, straightforward. There are a couple of kinds. You can do a virtual network event, which is typically over Microsoft Teams or Zoom, like we're doing today, and people get to meet each other only for the purpose to network. Right? There are advantages and disadvantages to this kind of networking, and there's also the in-person networking event where you go to a big hall, sometimes a business lounge, whatever, somewhere, and the organizer brings people from different sides of businesses, employers and employees, whatever, and the whole purpose of that gathering is actually for people to network. Again, there are advantages and disadvantages for that. So if I may start, that's probably the most common way people think of networking.
Yeah.
And the in-person direct networking, you have to be different. People are going to meet dozens and dozens and dozens of others.
Yeah.
And in order for you to stand out, you have to be unique. You have to be different. You have to, first of all, you have to dress for the occasion. This is, I cannot emphasize that enough. You'll be surprised how people, especially a lot of youth, they come into event, they think, I can dress whatever way I want.
Okay.
Yes, in general, but when you come to a networking event, there's a minimum level of expectations from others attending that event. So for you to shine above everyone else, you want to be, first, you want to fit, and two, you want to be different. Different in a good positive way, not different in a negative way. You don't want to be the black sheep, but you want to be unique. You want to introduce yourself in a unique way. You want to be very well versed in what you want, what you're asking for, why are you there, and you want to leave an impression, a very positive impression on people. The disadvantage there is that people sometimes get, they feel awkward being in a big gathering with others.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people I know can feel a lot of anxiety as well.
Yes.
Social anxiety, especially, and I've noticed a lot of people have been feeling that after the pandemic, even me actually. And yeah, so before I dive into that further, I want to ask you, we were talking about indirect marketing. Can you touch on that a bit more?
Yes. So to finish up with the direct networking, the virtual network is a form of direct networking. The advantage of that is for you to listen to how people are positioning themselves and to go with the flow. This is a luxury that you have when you do a virtual networking event. that you cannot have when you do a direct event, right?
Mhm.
So in a virtual event, the advantage is that you get to sit back, you get to, listen, learn, adapt to the message, and go with the flow. This is extremely important. People need to go for the flow, with the flow. What happens that, and that also I faced that, but I'm sure a lot of people faced it in the past, is that you come prepared, you have your elevator pitch,
Mhm.
you rehearsed it so many times, and you just want to throw it out there. It
Yeah.
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Especially in a virtual event, you have to see where the flow of the discussion is going and take it. So that's the direct networking. The indirect networking, to me, is just as important, just as interesting, just as powerful as direct networking. However, most folks don't think about it.
Yeah.
They know about it, they just don't think about it. For example, Fatima knows person X, Mojahed knows person Y, and then we go out for coffee, or we go for lunch or dinner. That is a form of a network event. People don't think about it. They just think, okay, we're going for coffee, we're going for dinner, we're going for lunch. Yes, yes, yes. But it is a form of networking.
Mhm.
Person X did not know person Y before you and I invited them to this gathering, correct?
Yes,
Yet
definitely.
now person X and person Y have a connection,
Yeah.
and they have a chance to make an impression on each other, right? And
Yes,
I don't know
definitely.
the person you brought, you don't know the person I brought, and you're going to have an impression of that person. I'm going to have an impression of that person, so on and so forth. That is an absolutely powerful way of thinking about it. People in general, and youngsters in specific, do not take this seriously. Hey, I'm going out for coffee. Yes, enjoy it, have fun. We shouldn't plan for everything in life. Things should happen on an ad hoc basis sometimes. But that doesn't mean you learn from it. You capitalize on it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And there's so many different ways. You can go to a hospital, visit someone, and meet someone in the hallway. You meet the doctor, you meet the nurse. You
Yeah.
can shopping. There's so many. You know what? When you go to college, when you're sitting in that classroom and you speak to the person next to you, that person could be your colleague at work, or could be your door to get a job in his or her company in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's a form of networking. People
Yeah,
don't.
so basically, it's really important to when you're going out in university, or college, or like at job fairs, it's really important to try to just have a very good mindset of curiosity and talk to people with the attitude of trying to learn. And when you're just conversing and socializing, you never know like what opportunity may come up. They may like refer you to a job. They may end up being your coworker and stuff.
Absolutely. And by the way, if you want to do graduate studies, I know medical schools, probably law schools, many other graduate schools. When you apply, you need to have a network effect with someone to give you that recommendation letter from your professors,
Absolutely,
right?
yes,
That is a
definitely.
form of networking. Having a good, respectful relationship with your professor in college or university is a form of network, because he or she is going to write you that recommendation letter if you want to go for for scholarship, for graduate studies, whatever you want to do. In the future, that professor could be connected very well in the industry they serve,
Absolutely.
and they could open the door for you for your job fresh out of university.
That's
That is
actually very true. Yeah, I want to touch on that. Like me, I graduated from school, and one of my professors actually referred me to a job, and I still have that job. I really like it. It's so flexible. Like even today, I have that job. So because of that professor, because of networking, So yeah, absolutely, 100% agree. But also something important I really want to touch on, because I know many people, especially when they're starting out, they're very afraid. They have social anxiety. So do you have any like tips on how to navigate that or anything?
That is a very good question. I think most people, if not all people, suffer from that.
Even me sometimes, yeah.
It's honestly obvious, even for veterans, even for seasoned professionals. The events I join, especially the virtual ones, they're mostly people in their 40s and 50s, if not older, and the same typical mistakes are being made. People are nervous,
Yeah.
they're not comfortable, they're sweating, they're jittering. It is natural, but
Yeah.
honestly, I think it's also easy to navigate around it. You
Mhm.
probably would not be able to fully suppress it, but you definitely should have the right tools to navigate through. And how is that? It's here. It's in your mindset. It's just being focused on the purpose of the objective. You know, it's like a basketball player.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Raptors here in their stadium. It is so noisy. It is so loud, and especially for the visiting team, the boos that they get, the insults they get. Yet in many cases, they win on foreign territories, in a stadium that is not theirs, because they're focused. They're totally focused on the ball, on the net, on the goal in front of them. They're not distracted by the noise coming around them. And that's exactly the same strategy that you need to adopt when you go for an interview, for a networking event, even in your job. It is easier said than done. To me, all it takes is a lot of determination, a lot of practice, and honestly, just, you know, be yourself. Be authentic is the word I like to use. Don't be someone you're not.
Yes.
It will show off very, very easily. It will just surface. Your nature, your authentic self will surface. Always will. Maybe not in the first minute and two. It will eventually surface.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
seen it
that's
happen
true.
over and over.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely true. Like you're gonna have all these like feelings of nervousness, but you have to stay focused and also start small and just know it's okay to feel that way, but slowly it does get better. I also feel like having someone, maybe a friend to go with, makes you feel more comfortable. I've noticed that as well. But yeah, it's okay to feel nervous. So many people do, like, just keep going at it. Like you'll be proud of yourself or trying to push yourself outside your comfort zone. And yeah. And also, Mojahed, do you have any like personal success stories with networking? Like any opportunity you were able to receive, or just something amazing that happened out of networking?
Yes, but I'd like to refer to a very important point you just mentioned, to go with a friend. It is absolutely a good trick to have for in-person networking events. It could become an obstacle if you group together the whole time and you just chat and laugh and speak to each other. You're gonna ignore the crowd. If you go together, then go your separate path inside the hall. Like, don't stick together. You can meet again in an hour or two, go for coffee, take a break, go for lunch, come back again to the networking event, but go your own path. Speak to the people by yourself, because you want to stand alone.
Okay.
Remember, the whole purpose of that networking event for you to rise and shine above the rest of the crowd.
Yes.
Okay, you might not be able to do it. I can guarantee you will not be able to do it with every attendee, but you should be targeting that for at least one or two people in there where you're going to get your potential job. So that's very important. I just want to touch upon that. So success stories. Oh, absolutely. I actually want to tell you a project I just landed literally early this month was a result of a networking event after a networking event after a networking event. So I first went to a virtual networking event arranged by this organization. It's a charitable organization, and then they invited me to come and go to a community hub of theirs uptown on Young and St. Clair. I said, fine, I'll come. I met a lot of people there, and then after that, I kept connecting with them, and they kept inviting me back and forth. They even invited me to some of their networking events for me to speak about the importance of networking.
Nice.
I was like, only after a couple of sessions, I'm now being invited as a speaker to speak about networking. I am by far not an expert in networking, but I definitely know and live through the power of networking, because if you belittle any little step you take when you're doing networking, you possibly could lose on an opportunity to make your next gig, to get your next project, your next job, your next scholarship, your next graduate studies. Do not belittle anything.
Yes.
When you go and meet people, basically, let's define networking. We didn't define it, Fatima. Networking to me is human connection, one-on-one connection.
Absolutely, human connection, yeah.
Any human connection, on the phone, via text, via email, anything, any human connection is a form of networking. If you strip down the definition of networking to its lowest common denominator and think about it that way, you'll definitely start seeing everything and every interaction with someone who you don't know as a potential networking opportunity. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
true.
one success story. Many things happened in my life actually through that. I got several jobs that way throughout my entire career, all through network. I do not remember when is the last time I applied for a job through LinkedIn or XYZ platform and I got actually a contract. Honestly, throughout my 25 years of experience, except for my first job, when I left university and I dropped out of my PhD program, and then I joined a high-tech company here in the GTA. That was probably one of the first and few jobs I've ever applied to. Every other job has been through network and a network and a network of a network.
Oh,
That's
nice.
exactly the way it should be. And I'm sure I am not the only one. I am sure so many people out there are like that. Do not underestimate the power of network.
Yeah, absolutely. Even my jobs, or my jobs came from networking. And yeah, so networking is very powerful. I definitely recommend for the people, especially the younger people who are watching this, who are coming, who are either in school right now, like definitely like networking with your professors. Like you mentioned, they can be an amazing, valuable source of reference for you when you need to apply for jobs. They may even refer you to a job, which happened in my case. And yeah, stay in touch with them, ask them feedback. Like for example, if you're going to school for nursing, like ask them, stay in touch with them, like even in your nursing job, if you have any questions, ask them. But yeah, definitely like build and try to connect more with people. I feel like that just enhances your like journey throughout your career. And yeah, just try to like be a lot of with people, like just try to socialize with people where you're just getting a lot of quality connection that really just makes everything so much better. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Do you have any last tips for us? Mojahed?
Yes, I'd like to reflect on the fact that things have changed in many directions after COVID, after the pandemic, after the lockdowns that many jurisdictions in the world went through, including for us in the GTA and all of Canada and all of North America. I just want to say that please, 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 to everyone out there, especially the young people, you cannot just hide behind your little screen and just do this the whole day or just be behind your computer. You have to break away and be human again.
Yes,
We have to go out. You have to meet people. It's that personal interaction that will possibly could get you your next dream, your next study, your next scholarship, your next job, your next project, your next whatever you aspire for, your next investment, by the way. Ask any founder, they will tell you that their seed funding that they got from the venture capital firm that they acquired is typically through networking.
Yes.
VCs in general do not invest in people they don't know or they don't believe in. They ask any VC, they will tell you the same thing. We invest in people before we invest in ideas, because ideas come and go. Ideas could be obsolete in a year or two. But people that are resilient, that are leaders, that are strong, they will persist and they will succeed. And that's when those investors actually put their money and say, hey, our money is actually behind those people, those young men and women that we believe are going to define the future of this organization in a few years. So just keep that in mind. Yes, having virtual meetings through Zoom like we're having today, Fatima, is really an amazing thing to have, but don't limit yourself to it. Break away from it time to time and go out and enjoy life and enjoy meeting people. That's the best advice I can give.
Yeah, enjoy the journey, meet people. It actually starts to get really fun. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Mojahed, for joining us today. I really hope you guys learned a lot, and I really hope you guys just try to like, instead of being so goal focused, try to like slow down, enjoy the journey, meet people. And yeah, best of luck in your careers. Thank you.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. Appreciate it. Thanks for the invitation.
Bye-bye.
Take care.